Welcome back. It is day 3 of 4 in my garage. I'm hopeful we can get this done in the next 2 days, and if not, that's okay. But I am Shauna. I'm so happy you are here. Let's see where we've come from. Here's where we started.
As you can see, when I started this challenge on Monday, the garage is a disaster. It is definitely easier to just throw things in here or leave them on the tool bench than it is to put them away. We have tried in the past to organize out here, but you cannot organize clutter. So this week I am tackling the clutter. I am being ruthless. I'm getting things out of here, and so far, so good. We're halfway through, so I'm excited to see how today goes.
And here's where we are today.
So zones 1 and 2 are good. Here's my pile of things that my husband needs to look at or things that just need to be moved to the side for now. But so much better. There's walking space, there's flat surfaces, and then you look at this half and yeah, we'll get there.
Today's plan is to tackle this back section here. I think I am going to switch this. So all of these are open on the side, so it's like a shelf. This one we built it so it's more like a bucket. So I'm actually going to cut the zip ties because we used zip ties to make sure that it stayed really like solid. I'm going to cut the zip ties and I'm going to put a shelf one on top so we have another shelf here. And if the tarps are still good, I'm going to put them in one of these bigger totes here and set that on top because I think that's going to gain us some more storage space. And any space I have to organize better, I really want to take advantage of that. So I think that's the plan. And then all of the containers from my office, I think I'm going to try and use those in these cubes so it's a little bit more cohesive looking, and hopefully it's going to fill the space better. I know that they fit well because the containers were in these cubes downstairs in my office closet, so I know that they fit well, even like the little ones stacked two, like one on top of each other. So I'm hopeful that it's going to make a really big difference. So that is why I haven't been using these containers yet. I've been just waiting to use them over here. But enough talk. Let's see if I can get this done today.
I am starting by removing this hamper full of gutter downspout parts. I've been asking my husband if we could get rid of it for a couple years since we got our new gutters, and he wants to hang on to it just in case, which I do get, but it's always in the way. So I set it aside in hopes that if I move it out of this area and put it by his table, then he'll see the clear space and go, oh, maybe we don't need to keep that. So stay tuned to see what he says about that. But I'm going to start by taking care of all of the tarps. I figured this is a really easy spot to start. Over here is very overwhelming. There's a lot of different things here. This is just something, if you have sensory issues, you may have seen that I kind of reacted in a not so good way with that tarp. Totally had to go wash my hands. It was gross feeling. So I'm snipping the zip ties and removing this front panel. I found masks. Day 3 in, definitely don't want to use them because, yeah, let's just leave it at that. So I'm taking this front panel off and I'm putting it in the top to make more shelf space rather than a bucket space. And then we'll put the bin of tarps on top, and then I just have lots of extra storage space. So very excited about that. And then moving on, trying to figure out where to go from here. So just start kind of pulling things out, seeing what really is over here. And then I'm like, you know what? We're just going to grab containers and just start grouping things, sorting like with like, and putting them into bins. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. That's fine, but it's just a way for me to start really seeing what we have. Just things are in multiple spots over here. So one bin, I was putting things like rope, and another one was like all the bungee cords, and just trying to sort things. I put like zip ties and fishing line and like duct tape into another one, and that was working really well. I felt like I was seeing a lot of progress early on, and when you can do something like that, it really builds your motivation and just gets the ball rolling and really helps you see your progress early, which can help you just really push through. So that seemed to work really well here. But once I had those kind of sorted, I started kind of hitting a slump. Just random things that I was finding that I didn't know what they were or really what they belonged. So I was moving a lot of things over to the table for my husband to give input on later, which was also tricky. We didn't have time the night before to go through all the things from doing zone 2. So it was hard stacking things and keeping them on the table, but I did the best I could, and that was just good enough. So just continuing to sort piles. My husband has been so wonderful and supportive about this whole garage thing. He does wish that he could be here to help me through this, but I have to say, setting that table aside to put items on has been wonderful. It's helped him from getting overwhelmed, and then he can easily see, oh, these are the only things I have to make decisions on. So it's been really great. He's really impressed with how far I've gotten. So I can't wait to show him after today. Can't wait to show him when this whole thing is done. If my husband was a different man, I would totally record his reactions every day, but he loves his privacy, so we're going to respect that. And then just moving on with more containers, finding all the light bulbs. Actually going to have a container for the light bulbs so that they're actually all going to fit in, which is exciting. We'll actually be able to find things when we need them. So we are very excited about that. You know you're getting old when you get excited about where your light bulbs are. First it was potato storage in my pantry, and now it's light bulb storage in the garage. And then after just a brief moment of puttering, I decide to move on to the electrical bin. Now we have a lot of electrical things. So in order to make it easier for my husband to find things, I decided to divide it into 2 bins. One is all of the supplies, all of the tools, things like that. Or, for me who does not understand electrical work at all, anything I don't exactly know what it is, but I know that it's electrical. And then in another bin, I put all the light switches and the outlets and things like that, just to make it easier for my husband to find things, just because everything was just buried in one bin together and then you couldn't find things. I found a pack of brand new outlets in the bottom of this, and we had just bought more. So having them separated, I think, is going to be a really good idea. As you can see, I'm getting a little frustrated because there's just so much stuff. And then finding containers and matching lids, even the ones that I just brought up from the office, was a challenge just with how messy things are. And that is just why I'm just, how exhausting this whole project is, especially trying to do it in 4 days. I'm so excited for it to be done so I can actually find what I need when I need it. That we've been in this house for 7 years and we have never been able to do that. Even when we built the shelves along the back, even when we built the tool bench, all of that is custom that we designed and put in here. Even then, we just couldn't get things organized because there's always been too much. As you can see, I cannot find a lid to save my life for this bin. It took so many tries, but we eventually got there in the end. I decided after a minute to put all of the plumbing supplies into another bin. This bin works, it's great, but I figured, might as well make it cohesive and just put it in a matching bin. Didn't have to do that, but I wasn't sure if I was going to need another one of these for another location or another set of supplies and things out here. So I decided to just move it over, and I'm glad I did because there was just a lot of stuff in the bottom that was not plumbing. Why it was in the plumbing bin, I don't know, but I was glad that I decided to pull it out. I ended up rearranging the containers just a little bit. I really wanted anything that I know that we will reach for often to be easier to get to, so I put that closer to the tool bench, and anything that's things we don't always reach for, put that a little bit farther away, just to make our lives easier. Just because I know that if it's not easy, we're not going to take care of it. Case example, the garage as a whole. But now I'm moving on to reboxing, screws, and nails. Wow, totally spaced on that for a second. But trying to keep all the screws in one container, all of the nails in another container, and actually we don't have as many nails as I thought we did. The nail bin that had been here actually had screws in it as well, but I got all of the screws to fit in one box except for the big plastic container that was broken when I found it yesterday. I'm going to ask my husband if I could just put those into a baggie and then put them in the bin. But the nails, not a lot of them. So actually I was able to put like extra parts from like building furniture and things in that bin as well. So finding a home for that stuff was actually very exciting because we just have like things all over the place. And then when we're like, oh, hey, we need another one of these dowels or another shelf pin or something, we've never been able to find them. So to have those actually have a home is going to be absolutely wonderful. And at this point, because pretty much all of the containers have been redone, I kind of hit a wall again. So it was just puttering and like, okay, I can take care of this one item. I can go put this on the table for my husband, just trying to still make progress, but still feeling like I don't know what to do next. I thought it would be a really good time for me to put all of this wood in the corner. We have an old like plastic kids outdoor toy box over here that holds all the wood scraps. Not everything's in there. Could it fit in there? Yeah, so I decided to just kind of move all those pieces in there and kind of just get them off the floor. I really don't want anything on the floor, so it's easier to clean, and just when things are on the floor, everything else ends up on the floor. Clutter attracts clutter, so I really wanted to make sure flat surfaces, including the floor, were completely clear as best as possible. And when that was done, I decided to just continue looking through like the bins on the bottom, which are just full of miscellaneous things, which is why I really didn't want to do them, just because I don't know what to do with this stuff. So just looking through it, I emptied one. I don't even remember what was in there, but it was just random things. And then the other one had just more gutter parts. I don't even think half of them fit the new gutters that we have. And then once I cleared that space out, I'm like, oh, hey, all the car things can come over here, which will free up more space on the shelf in the tool bench for all those tools to like sit better. And it just was starting to kind of like come together a little bit, which was really exciting. So I ended up, the 3-drawer cart that I put together yesterday, I found a container to put like the oil change items in there and the other miscellaneous car repair, like little things, into a bin, and was able to put that on a shelf, and then actually had like the good oil on that shelf as well. And then the top drawer, which was like mower and the weed whacker parts, I ended up taking that out of the drawer and putting it back in the same container it had been in originally. It kind of cracked me up a little bit. I was not mad about having to redo my organization. I actually found this really humorous, but now we have like 3 shelves dedicated just to car things, and my heart and my brain were just so happy. And then my husband and I were both talking about this, but we were convinced that we had put up a hook for the extension cords. We remember there being a hook here. There's no hole, there's no hook, so I installed one. Very happy. They are easy to find. They are off a flat surface. It felt like a really good finishing spot for the day. And apparently I did not record me cleaning up, but that's okay. But here's the progress from today. I am so happy with how it went. Very nervous for tomorrow to finish up. But look how good this looks. I can't wait to label things, but as like I've been doing, I want to make sure my husband is okay with the organization before I put any labels on anything. And then tomorrow we'll be back to finish zone 4. Hopefully we'll do it, but it really causes me like pain to get rid of containers. I wish I was kidding. It needs to be done. Not looking forward to it.
I'm not gonna lie, today went a lot smoother than I thought it would, but it still took quite a while. Tomorrow's gonna be a doozy. I still have a lot left, but I think once I talk to my husband about like how the organization is going, hopefully I'll do that today because tomorrow's the last day of my challenge in the garage, I will be able to get rid of a lot of these containers because we just aren't gonna need them, and that's gonna really cut down on the clutter. So that's it for me. I'm gonna go shower because it is dirty out here, and then I'm gonna treat myself to like a Rice Krispie treat or something because I deserve it. It's been a long week. 1 day left in this challenge, in this room. I think I can do it. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later. Bye.